G'day. Well, it's definitely safe to say that this offshore oil rig is the biggest project that we've ever decided to undertake. That being the case, I didn't want to wait until it's completely finished for me to make a video about it. For two reasons. One, because it might be weeks before we finish this, and then when it's finally finished, the video would take far too long to showcase it all. And two, I actually think that it'll be kind of cool to show this thing evolving over time. So with that out of the way, let's jump in and have a look at what we've done so far. Alright, so I want to just quickly go through some of the inspiration and pictures that we're using to get the design ideas for what we're building this offshore oil rig. So here's one of the pictures. These foundation frames kind of look like some of the ones in game. Most of the offshore oil rigs have helipads like this, which we have. We kind of took the design of the base from the oil rigs that look like this. We might do something like this when we add a train station in. There's another one similar. The great thing about this, why I'm pretty excited to do this, is because the oil rigs are pretty crazy looking, and I'm pretty OCD when it comes to neatness. So the fact that the whole purpose of an oil rig, or the whole concept of an oil rig, is the fact that it looks so crazy like they do, it's going to give us a lot of freedom with design. So it's going to be pretty fun adding it all together. Righto, so this schematic, I said before, I'm not sure who made this, but whoever you are, thanks a lot. A lot of people are using this now, including Kibbs used it in one of his previous videos. So this is what we're going to do, and it turns 300 oil into 900 rubber. Cool. So we'll just go through a few numbers before we take a look around, and for those node connoisseurs out there, we'll just quickly show the nodes. This is the Northern Ocean. This area here is where the oil rig is, and we have 7 impure nodes. An impure node of oil will get you 150 per minute max, so wherever there's 2 together, we've merged them together to get one 300 line. There is an odd amount, so this one here is coming in at 150, and I'll tell what we're doing that in a minute. 4 normals, so they're 300 each, and 2 pure, which are 300 each as well. So that equals 9 lines, which you would have seen at the start of the video, and underneath those 9 lines of 300 there is another 150 line. So that schematic I just showed before, we've got laid out at the moment 9 times. So one there, one there, one there, one there, that's the bottom 4, and then we've got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. None of it's belted up yet, or one of them's slightly belted up. This first one here, we have got the belts in, and we have got the pipes in. It took quite a while to work it all out. So this little piece over here is what we're using the 150 oil for, and we're going to make some plastic out of it. We're stealing 300 rubber from this setup, shoving it in here, and doing a similar setup with reverse materials. We managed to get 660 plastic out of just this setup just here. So it works out that we are making 8,100 rubber minus 300 for this rig here, and we get 7,800 rubber and 660 plastic per minute. Now, everything you see here is obviously in progress, in work. We're going to be adding heaps to it. This belting, all the belting and pipe work, and we haven't even connected the power lines over here. It is going to take quite some time to do. Along with that, we want to, as we're adding in foundations and extra bits and pieces, we actually want to get rid of as much of this sort of foundation stuff as we can. It's looking like it's quite bland, especially from underneath, but it's far from finished. So I mentioned before, we've been using the micromanager. It's a really good mod, and I'll quickly show what it's capable of doing. You can actually grab items and make them a lot bigger, which is how we managed to get these power poles a lot bigger. You can tilt the angle of things, move the size, flip these up on their edge and angle them. It does take a lot of time though. You've really got to incrementally move each piece around. That's also how we get this big pillars, etc, etc. So I'll just quickly show the micromanager, just for anyone that hasn't seen it or used it. Just a real basic rundown of it. Basically, grab the item and you're able to, with the controls, incrementally move it up and down, and you can spin it, you can rotate it like this, like that, and you can also make it bigger and smaller. Okay. Another handy thing, about it is, I put another item out like this. They recently updated it, and you can actually control click more than one item at once and micromanage more than one item at once. It is quite difficult to start using, but it's quite handy. But I will say, just a word of warning, this mod is quite dangerous. Dangerously distracting, because it can distract you from actually doing the production projects that you're doing, especially if you're one of those types that's really creative and artistic. I'm looking at you, Drawing Chaos, so you have been warned. Sweet. So just have a little fly around, have a look at a few of the little things that we've done. Everything's kind of erratic and looking a bit crazy, off angles and stuff. We still need to paint all of these legs. Not sure exactly the color scheme we're going to go with yet, and it's a long way off. We obviously micromanaged these railings in to look like an actual helipad, and we had to actually individually do each one, so it can really take some time when you're playing with that thing. So the last thing I'll quickly show is, I mentioned in the last video, I unlocked the paint gun Mark II, really handy for those that are going to be doing a lot of painting. And I'll just quickly do a little demo of how good it is. As you can see, it's got 500 ammo per clip, and it's automatic, so I can just hold down the trigger and just paint like this. And it's going to be a lot, it's going to save you a lot of time when you're painting stuff, alright? So a mod that I would highly recommend is the Paint Gun Mark II. Alrighty, so that'll do it then. This has got a lot to go, and you'll see this evolve over the next few videos. Catch us later.